So here's the Arnold's Grove trailhead. Before the levee was built and this trail opened, this is actually a neighborhood of homes called Arnold's Grove. Now over the years, flooding took away some of the homes, but it was a thriving neighborhood until I think 1993 or one of the other big floods, and it just was destroyed. So they built the trailhead on top of it, because the land never used to be this high. This is from the levee construction. If you walk down the parking lot, you'll see this old foundation here. This is someone's backyard at one time. Over here is a neat hidden feature of this area. It is the culvert for the Union Pacific from 1929. So it's 95 years old this year. Now, when the water is a little bit more low, you can actually walk underneath the thing and go to the other side. I've done it before. Unfortunately, it's too high right now to do that. But usually you can just walk right under. Walking down to the culvert is a little bit tedious. You have to walk down the sketchy embankment full of concrete and stuff left over from Arnold's Grove. There's no real formal way to get down here. And here you go. This is Fishpot Creek. This is not the Meramec. Fishpot connects into the Meramec though. Actually, it might be low enough where I can walk underneath it. Might actually do that. So this is looking towards the Meramec River. This is exactly where Fishpot Creek connects to the river. Now, when the river gets really high, this whole area is underwater. Even Arnold's Grove is underwater, which is why they built the levee about 15, 20 years ago. Might be even newer than that. I'm not sure. I'm not from this area. So to go underneath the culvert, you have to hug the creek bank. And there's this little concrete ledge. It's only on this side, though. The other side doesn't have it, or at least not anymore. Look at that. That is way cool. So it's a little bit skinny walking under it, but it has a really cool view. As you can see, there's some waterfalls over here. So I'm now completely underneath the culvert. A view most probably haven't seen yet. It's all concrete, 95-year-old concrete. So there isn't much on this side. The trail does continue over here, but I think it's a different trail. And yeah, there's really no way of getting up there. That's easy. So I would recommend us driving around to the other side. Here's the beautiful waterfalls of Fishpot Creek. I never knew this was here. So here's one last look at the culvert. I'll let you listen for a couple of minutes. So a neat thing about the trail is it goes underneath the highway bridge, the bridge for Missouri Route 141. Now this bridge was built in 1983 and replaced an older bridge that was here that was from 1916. Now the older bridge was built here after the 1800s bridge there before it was washed away in the flood of August 1915. The approach for the older bridge, the one from 1916, used to be where the trailhead is now. There's no trace of where it used to be, except on the other side. The other side, the old highway is called Elm Street. The reason why they built this new bridge is because the older one was dangerous and old, and it crossed the railroad tracks. I think they're owned by BNSF. So here's the underside of the 141 bridge. It's not very ornate like the older one was, but to be underneath a bridge that's so heavily used is so cool. So this is what the trail looks like coming out of the bridge. I believe this used to be an old road that was used by Arnold Grove residents to get to downtown Valley Park. Obviously it's not a road anymore, and only emergency vehicles can use it. It's beautiful too. The levee on my left was built the same time the one in Arnold's Grove was built. There's a shopping center back there too. So from the levee wall, you have this awesome view of the BNSF Railroad Bridge that's out here. The bridge turned 100 years old and sees pretty often traffic. I don't think it's daily, but it's pretty often, which is incredible for how old it is. It was once painted all silver, but now it's a mixture of rust and silver. Of course, you can't climb on the bridge, but you can watch it from here. This is the second railroad bridge at this site, as you can see by the pillars underneath it. Underneath the bridge, you'll find the remnants of the older one. So the older one was made of stone, the pillars at least. The new one, or current one, was made of concrete. Unlike the new one, there is no date stamp for the older one, so I have no idea how old it is. Also, you can actually walk closer to the bridge if you want. It's not very easy, but there is a way. Especially when the water's down, which is not the case today. So ordinarily, when the water is low, you can walk to the side of the bridge over there. There's like a little sandbar and everything. But because the water is so high now, it washed it away and put all these trees in its place. So unfortunately, right now, you cannot walk down to the bridge. It's even lower on the Butter Park side, which is the opposite side. The sandbar is right around there, but of course it's gone now. The lighting sucks, but you can see the intricate details of the underside of the bridge. Not too bad for being 101 years old. This is a great photo opportunity right here. One of the spans of the bridge goes over the trail, and you can actually see from here the old height limit sign from when this was a road. When the train passes by, I'm seeing some really cool pictures in this spot. If you walk farther on the trail, you'll come across this neat tower thing. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but it's probably for monitoring the floodwater. Doesn't really say what it's for, except that it's owned by the city of Valley Park. If you continue the trail for a little while, about maybe half a mile at most, you'll come across this beautiful butterfly garden that Girl Scout Troop 3626 built in 2014. As I was walking up the trail from the butterfly garden, I noticed all of this melted glass goes up and down the trail. Wondering if this is from the old glass factory. So the 141 used to continue straight right here where I'm standing, and the bridge used to be where the cars are parked. That's Arnold's Grove, where the cars are at. It looks completely unrecognizable from the pictures I've seen, from what this area used to look like before the highway was realigned in 1983. So this is the present day intersection of Marshall Road and what used to be 141. Again, this used to look entirely different before the highway was realigned in 1983. Only these buildings have survived. The rest of them on the other side of the old highway are obviously gone now. But there are several more buildings where the highway now sits. So this is another bridge you can walk under. This was built after the highway was realigned. Before it was realigned, there was an older one that was here built in 1930. Again, when the Missouri Pacific realigned the tracks of the area. So in front of me is the famous Valley Park elevator, built 130 years ago, I think in the 1870s or 1880s. When they realigned the highway in 1983, they had to take off the main entrance and move it to the side. So if you stand on top of the levee, you have this awesome view of downtown Valley Park. The highway, as I said before, used to go straight through where I'm standing, and the bridge used to be right behind me. There used to be buildings on the right side and the left side. Now only the left side because the right side was completely demolished for the new highway in 1983. You can also see where the highway used to continue up the hill, but it's since been cut off by the Valley Park High School as they expand it. Now when the river is low, unlike today, a sandbar appears in the middle of the river, and you can actually walk that far out. Carefully, of course, because the river is very dangerous. But it gives this awesome view of the bridge. And I've actually watched a train on the bridge from that sandbar last December. Now this used to be Larkin William Road, and there used to be houses on the left side where an archery field is today. As you can see, the road is badly eroded. I'm sure it's a lot bigger than what it looks like now. The road has been cut off here since I think 1993, when the flood destroyed this area, which is I think when the houses went away too. Might have been either 1993 or 1983. I don't remember which year it was, but the house has been gone for a long time. So this is where Larkin Williams Road went underneath the bridge. It was a very, very low clearance. The road also used to go straight for a while until it connected to what is now the old Route 141, which is now known in that area as Elm Street. When they realigned the highway in 1983, they cut off the road from the highway. And you can't, it just dead ends now into a grassy mound. This is on the edge of Booter Park, so be careful because not a lot of people come out this way. Like the other side, you can actually walk under the bridge. It's very muddy because of the rain we've been having. But you get the idea. This side is a lot steeper than the other side, so there's pretty much no way they can safely get down to the river from here. That's a really cool angle of the bridge. This is how close you are to the bridge itself, maybe 5 or 6 feet away. So if you cut through the woods a little bit, you have this awesome view of the bridge. The lighting is great right now. Probably one of the best perspectives I've seen the bridge so far. Never knew this was here until now. Of course you have to be careful because the riverbank just drops off right here if you're not careful enough. So you have to stay a couple feet back like this. This is about where the road just ends. There's nothing over there except just weeds.